Hey guys, what's going on? It's Meatwagon back again. More videos from Shangri. What is this one? Part 5, I think. You can see here, I'm just showing you we're all upgrading some new weapons. Like I said, you know, you waste it all. If you got the points, get new guns, upgrade them. Who cares? Fire it up, have some fun with it. I got the Commando upgraded here, and let's see what else. I think maybe the RPK. Maybe the RPK or the HK. One of those Ks, one of those LMGs that end in a K. So it was someone's brilliant idea. Someone in white. Figure that one out. Hey, let's try a different area. Let's try over by the bridge. And I said, are you sure? No, come on, let's get creative. Let's try some different areas. I said, all right. Your call. Your call, buddy. So, yeah, we're going to try this different area. I mean, I think Bentley and Hyper are going to go down to the other side of the bridge, and Spider and myself, we're going to be up here. And we're going to see just how good this area is for 4 players. Actually, it looked like Hypermole was moving to the top of the water. Oh, nope. Nope. I wonder why he didn't go over there. Probably because there was a whole ton of zombies coming that way. So, we're giving this a whirl right here. And you guys let me know what you think. Just watch this next couple of minutes and see if you think this is a good area. See, we're like just barely into the round. I'm getting the piss spanked out of me right there, trying to revive Spider. They're coming in from, let's see, that window. They're coming in from 1 or 2 windows. One window in the mudroom, one window across from the mudroom, from spawn, from the top of the waterfall window, a little half wall right to my right hand side right here where the one of the musical Easter egg rocks are. I don't know, do you think this is a good area to stand? What we're doing here is we're showing you where the bad areas are to go. Don't try and hold it off here, at least not with 2 players like we are. This right here basically exhausts all my ammo of both my newly upgraded guns. No max ammos drop. Yeah, this area here, look, we're pushed back to the bridge now. I'm trying to push back up there, but you can see anywhere where there's a location that zombies can come in from more than 2 sides at you is a bad location, okay? Whether you're just inside a cave, standing on the bridge, whatever. You're standing up here, you've got that window straight to the left, straight into the mudroom, that's 2. Straight across the mudroom, that's 3. The spike hallway, that's 4. The half wall, that's 5. And the top of the water slide window, that's 6. 6 areas they can come from in here. Alright, RPK is done. I'm down to the Predator. We're going to fire it up with the Predator. I actually really like the Commando and the upgraded version, the Predator, in Zombies. I really like Commando. I mean, if the Commando shot like this in multiplayer, I mean, look at, there's no recoil on it. There's no recoil on this gun at all in Zombies. Now, I've tried to use it in multiplayer, and it's got, you know, sometimes it works good, other times it'll kind of kick up into the side a little bit. So, but if this Commando was like this in multiplayer, it would be way overpowered, as everyone says, like the FAMAS was until it got nerfed. You know, like the 87s before it got nerfed. I mean, pretty soon, you know, everybody likes the idea of, I mean, continue watching the carnage here, but I'm going to go off on a tangent here a little bit. Everybody likes the idea of multiple guns to choose from, right? That was like what some people say the downfall of what Medal of Honor may have been, besides the idea that it was a different feeling in the character movement. But they didn't have that many guns. You know, you only had like the 74U and the 74, the M16 and the M4, and, you know, a couple other guns. There wasn't that many. People say, well, we want more guns. We want more choice of guns. But then people bitch and moan that guns are, you know, this gun's better, or that gun's better, or that gun's more, you know, a gun's more overused, like the 74 and the FAMAS was used by everybody, a lot of people. So it was like, it was an overused gun. Well, you want variety, you want a lot of different guns, but do you want them all to shoot exactly the same way? I don't think so. So, people get lost somewhere in their moaning about weapon balance and everything. If you want multiple weapons to choose from, you want all those weapons to have different characteristics. You don't want them all to shoot exactly the same with no recoil. You don't want 15 different ACRs to pick from, do you? I don't think so. I mean, at least I don't. But as far as gun balance goes, you take a burst gun, which is going to be terrible up close and hip firing, but at medium to long range, it should be a one burst kill like the M16 was back in COD 4, like the FAMAS was in Modern Warfare 2. Okay? So where the trade-off is you get a burst gun, but it's a one burst kill, medium to long range. Up close, you're going to be handicapped. Maybe your turn speed is slower, your hip fire is bad with it. That's the trade-off. The gun like the 74U, maybe it's unbeatable up close. Maybe up at close range, a rapid-fire 74U is unbeatable. But at medium to long range, you couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. That's the problem with the 74U, is that you could snipe fools cross-map with it, okay? And it's an SMG. Try and do that with the MP5K. It's not happening. That's where a gun balance. It's not that anything's overpowered by its strengths of a gun, right? The strength of a gun is not overpowered. A one burst kill out of a FAMAS is not overpowered as long as you make some other parts of that gun weaker, like hip fire and close range. Having the 74U just an absolute monster at close range, you balance it out by making it garbage at long range. That's when gun balance is actually balanced. That's when you can have multiple guns with all these different characteristics and you have balances. Maybe you're a close quarters run and gunner, you're going to use an SMG that you want it to be a monster up close. Maybe you're a guy who sits back a little bit more, is a little bit more tactful in their movement, not camping, but just, oh, I just got owned by a shrieker. Maybe you're a little bit more tactful and you like some long range engagements. So then you use maybe a burst fire gun or one of the mid-range assault rifles. Okay, you can see the difference in gun balances. The reason why I'm talking about this is in zombies, because these guns act differently in zombie mode than they do in multiplayer mode. Just look at that commando. That commando is like a freaking laser beam in zombies. And in multiplayer, it's got some strange recoil to it. You know, depending, if you use it a lot and you get used to it and you get to where you can control it, it's a pretty beastly gun. But no one says it's overpowered. You know, no one says it's overpowered. I guarantee you, you put the lack of recoil out of zombies into multiplayer, that'll be the next gun to get patched because everyone's going to be crying about it. So keep that in mind. When you guys engage in a conversation about gun balance, think about how things work in zombies versus multiplayer, how the guns act differently. You know, even the sniper rifles. Look at the sniper rifles in zombies. There's none of that BS crazy sway as soon as you scope in. You can actually quick scope in zombies. And then, like everybody says, you get Deadshot Daiquiri, it's going to help you aim assist toward the head. So, you know, the idea of balancing guns in games, it's obviously easy to do. Treyarch can do it because they have different setups for zombies than they do multiplayer. So any of these game developers can make that happen. I think that's just in this little conversation I'm having right now with you guys, look at what I've come up with. The idea of how to balance an SMG, how to balance a 3 burst gun. Make assault rifles your kind of like your overall go-to type of weapon. Give them decent hip fire, give them decent close range, make them really good at medium range, and then they're still usable at long range as long as you can control it and you don't, you know, spray like a fool and control your trigger. Go a little burst fire on it, you know, make that full auto a burst fire gun. So that's just some ideas I had just after looking down the sights on that commando that made me think about the idea of gun balancing. And you know, hopefully that, you know, I wish they would just balance guns rather than waiting for people to moan about them and then nerf them. And I don't know exactly how they nerfed them. Maybe the idea of nerfing them is doing what I said. taking away some of the characteristics, but leaving some of them in there. You know, the FAMAS acts almost as like an SMG. It's crazy beastly up close. What they should do is add recoil to it so you can't laser beam someone across the map full auto. But other than that, you can see we're here on round 21, owning some zombies, blowing some heads off. I got a couple crawlers here. I got myself a ray gun. So between that last round and this round, I went from an upgraded commando and an upgraded RPG. Now I've got a non-upgraded ray gun and I think, what was that, an upgraded HK. So I spent some money at the box to get this stuff, and obviously spent some money to upgrade them. I didn't upgrade the ray gun because it's still, obviously I'm not gonna try and survive a round with a non-upgraded regular weapon. Look at that. I didn't actually mean to kill them, but I didn't really think about the flopper aspect of it, and I don't think everybody was ready for me to take those zombies out, but it's alright. Everybody got back. I think everybody's got ammunition and stuff, so we'll see if that cost us in any way, me flopping those zombies to end the round. But again, you know, we were going on for a long time, 5 hours, and I'm like, yeah, you know, once in a while you gotta just kick things in the butt, get them moving. Spider, I think, is yelling out max ammo, and I'm screaming, literally screaming at him, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it before the stupid monkeys come, because I just blew up those zombies and started around. Maybe people need ammo. I definitely could refill my HK here. So he's like, all right, calm down. I'm like, dude, you never know. Monkey comes and grabs that thing, turns into a carpenter. Someone's going to get slapped upside the head. Because I want my ammo. I want my ammo so I can blow some zombies' faces off. Just like I'm doing right here. Again, this is a great spot. All right, here's another thing I want to bring up. Insta-kill. Why don't you knife? All right, Hyper Mole obviously plays on a 2-bar, sometimes a 3-bar. I'm usually on a 3-bar connection with these guys, and what that means is the zombies are actually about 2 feet closer to me than I see, okay? So right now I could be knifing, no big deal, one at a time I could knife them. But it's harder to knife. The worse your connection is, the better the chance that you're going to get, you know, swiped and possibly taken down by knifing. Because the zombies are closer to you than your game is displaying. That's just the natural built-in lag with peer-to-peer type hosting on these games, okay? Non-dedicated servers, peer-to-peer hosting. Someone always has Host Pro, and if you're close to them, you're on a 4-bar, you're golden. If you're far away from them, you start to drop to 3 and 2 bars, you've got to change your gameplay. That's why when you see me playing solo, see me playing solo, I play totally different. I can play a lot more aggressive. I can knife. I can do all that stuff. I don't even bother buying the Bowie knife because I'm not going to knife. I know that could get me into trouble because of my connection. It's just not something I want to do. Now, when I'm playing solo and I'm hosting my own game, it's a whole different ball game. I play differently. You know, lately I've been playing a little bit more aggressive just because, you know, it comes a point where you get tired of sitting back and letting everybody else get the kills and get the glory, and you start hearing people, you know, I start seeing people saying, hey, this guy's a beast, that guy's a beast, everyone's a beast. So like, hey, wait a minute. All right, I'm going to go ahead now. I guess I have to step it up again and, you know, bring back some of my original type gameplays. Because when I used to play solo all the time, you know, it's only you in there. And it's only you that's going to either spotlight or fail. So when you play multiplayer, it's a lot harder to stand out as, you know, a beastly type player. Or, you know, it's easy for me to stand out as a good team player. Opening doors, reviving players, doing good call-outs, coming up with good strategies. But outright just showing, hey, you know, I can get the most kills and the most points. You know, I can beast up this lobby. I haven't been doing that for a long time just because, you know, I thought I pretty much proved myself and I didn't have to be concerned about that. When I see a lot of comments popping up about how, you know, this person's beast, that person's beast, all this type of stuff, I figured, hey, it's time for the wagon to step it up again and just remind people that I can do this too. You guys know what I'm talking about. Oh, Hyper, what are you doing up there? There goes my Spike More. Took care of that one. Go get him, Spider. Go get him. See? This is not, it's not a big deal. Hyper goes down normally without, again, this strategy is the unlimited 7 perks. Hyper went down, big deal. It's no big deal. As long as you get to him and revive him, even if he bleeds out, but get to your teammate with a Monkey Bomb, revive him. He's back in the game. He still has all his perks. He hasn't lost a darn thing. Not one thing. He is right back in the game. Look at Spider goes down, not that big of a deal. We got 3 guys up. Either throw a Monkey Bomb, or if we're close to the end of the round, or Bentley's got his Refibrillator, he just shoots him with a knife. He's back in the game, no loss. That's the idea of this video series, showing you just how powerful all 4 players having the 7 perks is. You can do a lot of things with it. Alright guys, into this video. Stay tuned, only a couple more.